As presidential candidates prepare to straddle the fence and appeal to voters across the spectrum, next week's presidential nominations will flag off yet another likely bruising contest to shape Uganda's destiny. Though 56 candidates have picked nomination papers, political experts fear that the high turnout could be symbolic of how jesters have taken the job of running the country lightly.
Uganda is a country which should be led by people of substance, of format and form. Now the whole thing looks as if it is ridiculous and ridicule.
I think it shows you how seriously we Ugandans take our presidents or even the presidency. It's been reduced to a joke. Because clearly, 56 people, you will find that many of them are just having fun.
If there are more than 10 people, we may have to request the government to come up again to give us the necessary logistics, because that is beyond our control. We had budgeted for 10.
Analysts predict that most of them will fall by the sideways as the race enters its critical phase. In the eyes of the public, the race is perhaps between four candidates: the incumbent President Yoweri Museveni, FDC's Dr. Kizza Besigye, DP's Norbert Mao, and UPC's flag bearer Olaro Tunu. But political pundits think 2011 will be yet another stiff race between Museveni and his perennial nemesis Besigye.
There are candidates who are likable people, who possibly many people would wish had contested for the presidency in better times, if we had a sane political system where you contest for the presidency in normal circumstances.
No few others does not arise. The competition, if it was supposed to be genuinely clear, it should be between Museveni and Besigye. That is the only competition which can lead to mature democracy, so that we know exactly who has won and exactly who has lost.
With the levers of incumbency on his side, President Museveni will need to upset the apple cart and reverse the trend of his dwindling percentage to win the election. But Besigye, who has contested the presidential results twice in the Supreme Court, will hope the incumbent's halo will continue to slip and eclipse his previous performance to reach 50%. As no candidate expects a walk in the park, the period after nominations will be marked by heightened canvassing for votes in the countryside. Museveni plans to begin his campaigns in Luwero, a place that strikes a historical bearing, but more importantly, underlines how far he takes the threat of the insidious Subi-IPC alliance in the sub-region with most votes to fight for. Besigye, with a third dig at the presidency, will use the IPC-Subi cog to drive his message of change across the country. Though he comes into the race after UPC and DP quit the IPC, a move that bellied the power struggles in the opposition backyard, pundits feel Besigye still possesses the most formidable challenge to the status quo.
I'm saying fundamentally that the coalition was a wastage of time, and I liked the way it collapsed, because it has now given Besigye the chance to concentrate on FDC and push the FDC into the people.
Olaro Tunu and Mao are likely to eat into votes that would have gone to the IPC. That is true. And I think that the IPC would have benefited a great deal from those two people not standing. But given that they are standing, and given that they are areas that are traditionally UPC supporting areas, UPC still has a fairly large following in the country. Given that there are areas that are largely DP following areas, I think that they are going to eat significantly into those areas. But still, I think that there are people who belong to those parties who would still want to vote for the candidate who presents the most credible opponent to President Museveni.
This week, Besigye was blocked as he attempted to file his papers at the EC. The police accused him of harboring a sinister plan when he appeared to hand his nomination papers to the EC chairman, Engineer Badru Chigundu, a man he often accuses of being an appendage of Museveni's regime, ostensibly to rig elections. The clash that ensued at the EC gates on the same day EC officials prayed for peaceful elections, experts fear sheds light on what could unfold in 2011.
Level playing field is literally not there. Politics in this country has been over-invaded by too much political corruption, moneyism, and issues relating to militarization and over-securitization of elections in this country.
Are they going to use the Chivoko squad? Some people think that they will. I'm not sure that they will. And anyone who has followed elections in this country would have noticed something very interesting. Election day itself is very peaceful. And I think that that is calculated to disarm election observers. Now, it's the period leading up to the elections that we have to watch. And I think that there, the movement, as usual, is going to try as much as possible and restrict opposition parties to the towns.
As the race to step up on the hallowed grounds of leadership kicks off in earnest next week, a political expert predicts the Eastern region and Buganda could emerge the most contested.
The East is up for grabs by both the IPC and the NRM. The North is going to be a very complex one because there are people who voted for Kizza Besigye in 2001 and 2006 in very large numbers in the northern sub-region. I think that a significant number of those are going to stay with the IPC because they are going to be voting for the person most likely to defeat President Museveni, because ultimately that's what they want to see.
In the last election, Museveni swept the Western region, while Besigye took Lokhorn and Barrow of northern Uganda. Museveni slightly edged Besigye in Buganda and the Eastern region. The period after nominations will mark a rollercoaster campaign trail as candidates comb the countryside for votes. However, the climax will be February 12th, when the electorate will use their prerogative to elect a leader. Emma Mtaizibwa, NTV.